All right, so we're on kind of a roll here, so I'm gonna quickly get another video out here. You guys tell me whether you like it or not, doing this blog style, or if you think that it's better to have the stationary camera. For those of you that are worried about my dogs wandering around with me, I always keep them locked up inside my truck, and it's relatively soundproof. Trying to keep the dogs from having any hearing damage or anything, because I care about them very much. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that because a few videos I've had out there, man, I look like a freaking caveman. A few videos I've had out there, I show the dogs in the background and stuff like that. But for those of you that know me, yeah, I'm super careful about my animals. So anyway, I've had a request for a review on, talking about first focal plane scopes versus second focal plane, and had a comment today, and I thought I'd just do a quick video and talk about a scope that my buddy and I are using. I'm using mine on a Leupold, or on a 6.5 Creedmoor Gen 2 RPR. This gun has had thousands of rounds through it. It's very, very accurate. It's been out past 2,300 meters, and very, very, very accurate. That's a whole other story, that shooting trip. Needless to say, I should listen to my wife a little bit better. I'd probably be a bit more successful. When something's going wrong, you should probably stop and figure out what it is. Anyway, embarrassing story. So I picked up this Leupold V. Man, my arm is getting sore already. By the way, I'm working out again because I got fat. And yeah, anyway, did lots of stuff today. And I keep getting distracted. Anyway, my buddy and I both have the Leupold VX3i scope. This is their sort of budget, modern day version of the Mark IV, but it's better. It has about the same quality of glass so far as I can tell. I have a Mark IV as well, and I actually like this one better. That scope's about 15 years old now, and it was my first scope when I got into long range shooting. And when they came out with this, I snapped up one of these. I accidentally bought a second focal plane, didn't mean to. My buddy ended up, luckily I warned him and he got the first focal plane. But so I want to talk about like the downfalls of second focal plane and the one and only benefit of it. The one and only benefit is if you're a hunter, you're always going to have that nice big coarse reticle. That's as far as it goes. As soon as you're not in full magnification or at your halfway point, which is not necessarily your halfway point in magnification, that reticle becomes null and void. It is useless. You may as well have a you're just Kentucky windaging it at that point. Let's just put it that way, and I'll leave it at that. Anyway, this scope, the VX3i, it's a mouthful, has been a fantastic scope. I've had students use this gun all last year and throughout this year as well. Guys are making shots at past a mile with it. Last year, I did kind of get the impression that in the very, very, very extremes, and I mean like topping the elevation right out, that it might be off just a smidge. And I mean, I'm talking like 3% or something like that. It's just that my shots, don't seem like they're coming in as true as they are with my other scopes. That said, this is $1,000 scope versus, $3,400, $3,600 scopes that I'm running on other rifles. For $1,000, I am perfectly fine with that. I think Leupold is amazing. They do a fantastic job on their scopes. They've treated me really, really well in the past when I've had the one and only failure that I've ever had in 15 years. I had my scope back in less than a week, including the shipping time. That was absolutely fantastic. That scope went on to get many more years of use after that. It's still in use now. Moved on from me to my friend and then on to another one of his friends. And, it's still going strong. Like I said, I'm using the scope on an RPR in 6.5 Creedmoor. It's got thousands of rounds through it now. I know because I've gone through boxes and boxes and boxes of ammo. I'm basically just curious to see how long it'll last, given the price and stuff. I'm not at all worried about whether it's going to break because this is one of Leupold's golden ring products and it's warranted pretty much forever. It's been, like I said, very true dialing. The parallax adjustment is a little bit finicky. That said, it's $1,000 scope. I would take this over a Vortex any day of the week. I'm not worried about having to send it in for repairs, you know, every second time I go shooting. Ammo's expensive, time's expensive, gas is expensive. You've got to look at, you know, reliability and save your beans. If you're, you know, thinking about getting a $300 scope, don't save. We can all save, you know, save up, buy once, cry once, and be happy with it. You'll enjoy it. You'll be so much less frustrated. You'll just really love what you get out of it. So let's take a look at the scope now that I've given my diatribe and my 2 bits. I've got it mounted in a set of worn scope rings. It's a 20 MOA rail, 20 MOA on the mount itself, and then I have a Lone Star scope level on it, which is an $18 level that I picked up off of Amazon. Really love it. One of the secrets to my shooting though is the Terminator brake. This is their self-timing TT model. You can see it's had a lot of use. Finally starting to wear through the KG gun coat many times in and out of the case. And let's see if I can get this thing to focus a bit better. This is the TT, like I said. This section on the back here that you see that's knurled is actually a lock nut. So this is a really easy, fast install. You tighten the lock nut against the back of this with a bit of Loctite on it, and it's pretty much never going to come undone. Good job on that, Greg at Terminator. If you want one of these brakes and you want to get the exact same setup, just let me know. I've got the Evolution bipod on it, Terminator brake, the Leupold VX3i. I'm not sponsored by any of these guys. I bought these all with my own hard-earned cash, but I do sell them. These are hand-picked items, you know, that I sell through rangetech.us and rangetech.ca. The scope though, let's have a boo at that though. This is the 4.5 to 14. Like I said, it's the second focal plane. It's got a nice little turret system here that on the back, I'm going to adjust my camera. This is going to be kind of a rough video, guys. I'm not going to be doing any editing. I'm just going to upload it. This is your scope level, or your scope 0, duh. And you can see underneath it, you've got revolution indicators, 5, 10, 15, 25, etc. In this case, it's got the Lone Star bubble level, which I really like. The beautiful Warren 20 MOA mounts, and thank you very much for your support, Warren. It's made getting these rifles going and putting these videos up so much easier. Rear focal, I suggest you get the front focal plane or get really good at remembering to set it to your full power when you're measuring targets for distance. I'm gonna turn this around. All right, guys, so that's it. It's been a fantastic scope. Highly suggest you spend the extra $40 and get the first focal plane version. However, if you want to save yourself 40 bucks, the second focal plane is fantastic too. The one thing they don't have is they do not have illumination. So, you know, for hunting, there's a downfall there. But if you're just hunting in the day, not early morning or early evening, you don't really need that. All right, guys, take it easy. Thanks again for supporting me, and we'll be back soon.